Glad to have you in with us on a Monday afternoon. Tonight we begin with the crime beat and a man from Diaz under arrest facing an attempted murder charge, according to police. Corda Reynolds, 38, was arrested on Sunday after he allegedly shot a woman in the head. The wound, thankfully, was non-fatal, and she was able to identify the suspect. She was released from the hospital. It was said to have taken place at Craighead County Road 323 early Sunday, and it was Craighead County Sheriff's deputies who worked the case. As mentioned, it was early Sunday. It was actually around 5 a.m. when deputies got the call and responded, found the woman had been shot in the head. But as I mentioned, that sounds worse than it actually ended up being in terms of the severity of the injuries. The woman's already been released from the hospital, and she identified the man you're looking at on the right side of your screen as the suspect. That is Corda Reynolds, 38. He is in Craighead County Detention Center as of last check. He's facing an attempted first-degree murder charge. Well, continuing on the crime beat, William Neal Toney, 31, of Jonesboro, was arrested after a reported incident that involved him being barricaded into his home. At least that's what the press release said from Jonesboro Police Department. The release was actually sent out by Corporal David McDaniel on Sunday. It said that it was when officers were called to a domestic disturbance call that they found the individual that you're looking at. It was about 6:30 p.m. Sunday, April 15th, for those of you watching perhaps later on after we broadcast live. It was the 200 block of Puryear, where a witness said they observed an adult male physically attack an adult female and then reportedly drag her inside of the house. Contact was attempted at the home, but nobody would come to the door. Officers began receiving text messages from the subjects in the home saying apparently there was a male suspect refusing to let anyone leave. That was then reported that he was possibly armed with an unknown firearm. It said officers were able to identify the man as 31-year-old William Neal Toney through information given to them by witnesses. Officers were able to confirm at the scene that he had outstanding felony arrest warrants through another agency. But it was getting to be a dire situation. SWAT team members and crisis negotiators were called to the scene. Before they could be implemented, either one, Toney exited the home and was surrounded by and surrendered to Jonesboro Police Department. He was taken into custody without further incident. According to the press release, the female was contacted, found to have minor injuries. Toney was left in custody of the Craighead County Jail with domestic battery charges, in addition to that felony arrest warrant we mentioned. Also on the crime beat, something we're hearing about from the Attorney General's office. It was said to have happened last week. 2 individuals arrested on a litany of counts of crimes against children. A Black Rock resident, Brick Wagner, 68, arrested on 30 counts of child porn, a Class C felony, distributing, possessing, or having the material depicting sexual activity involving a child. We just shortened it for the sake of the full screen. James Hicks, 61, of Mount Pleasant, also arrested, according to the release, on 30 counts, the same Class C felony. Both were announced on April 11th. That was last Wednesday by the Arkansas Attorney General. But I checked and just happened to find the story today. I didn't see anybody else in our area had picked it up. I could be wrong on that, but I wanted to make sure everyone knew, as we've been discussing the importance of keeping our children safe in the community, especially over the last several weeks. We want everyone to realize that, yes, these alleged predators are right here at home. Well, it's news from the state capitol and good news for your pocketbooks if you own a home and you live in the home. You know that homestead tax credit? I guarantee you, if you're a homeowner, you've claimed this thing, because I've claimed this thing. It's $350 for owning a home that you get back on the home you list as your primary residence. Well, Governor Asa Hutchinson says that $350 should be raised to $375. He says the state has more than $78 million in the account that's used to pay back counties for these tax credits that are given out. More than $78 million, and the raise that we're talking about would cost about $18 million. It says the governor wants that tax credit to go up, and around 716,000 individuals would be affected by that. Hey, it would only be that you got to pay $25 less every time you're paying those property taxes once a year, but still, $25. Well, that pays for a Costco membership, according to the speaker, Paul Ryan, I think. Steak and Shake is going to be opening in Jonesboro this month. It's good news for those of you out there that are hungry, and we're probably going to make you a little hungrier with this story. It was delayed several times because of the crazy weather that we've had already this year, the record-setting rain and the record-setting cold temperatures too. We're going to be probably resulting in some record-setting steak burgers getting eaten due to all the anticipation that's been built up over this. The home of the original steak burger is going to open over there by the Malco on April 30th. That is Monday. And there was a statement actually issued on Friday that says they're considering offering breakfast and may even open 24 hours if the demand is there. 24-hour Steak and Shake with breakfast? I've never had breakfast at Steak and Shake, but we had some people in the chat and comments that said that bacon and biscuits were their favorite, and they have had some great stuff there. Folks, we're going to be trying it. It's also just in time for them to introduce some stuff on their new fall menu, including, pumpkin spice shake. I am sitting here with a cup of coffee that has pumpkin spice in it. I'm your pumpkin spice guy, so we'll be making sure to check that out. That's Steak and Shake, and the construction nearing completion in Jonesboro. Some news from Arkansas State University in the form of this week. Arkansas Children's Week is going on, and with that in mind, there's a lot of dignitaries and individuals that are actually helping out at Arkansas State University, helping get the kids educated and ready to do some learning too. I want to talk to you a little bit about some of the stuff that's going to be going on this week, as it's beginning today and running through this Friday, April 20th, as part of STEM and STEAM, science, technology, engineering, art, and mathematics, the Arkansas Children's Week 2018. It says in the release from Arkansas State University, state legislators, community leaders, they're all visiting Arkansas State University this week. Today was a busy day, by the way. You had Arkansas State Senator John Cooper performing a science activity with students, Representative Brant Smith bringing his own STEM activity to explore with preschoolers, Representative Jack Ladyman assisting students using an inclined plane activity, and Jonesboro Mayor Harold Perrin and Communication Director Bill Campbell were also on hand to help pass on the wonder of nature by planting seeds with the class. Now, tomorrow, Representative Dwight Tosh is going to demonstrate a science and math activity, and local engineer Ted Hardin will go from room to room sharing his knowledge of tools with the students. That is all part of the Arkansas Children's Week celebration, and it's hosted by Arkansas A-State's Child Development and Research Center. Of course, taking place all around. Lots of activities happening this week at Arkansas State University. We are set to have a gorgeous week. In fact, we'll tell you all about it next. The New Wave Wireless forecast is on the way, and some other stories we think you might find interesting too are coming up on NEA Report.
Accidents happen. So what happens if you bring your car or truck to Stadium Auto Body? It's in the hands of a manufacturer-certified expert who'll treat it with respect. It's brought back to life using the advanced tools and technologies today's vehicles require. All makes, all models. At Stadium Auto Body, we do the job right, back our work with a limited lifetime warranty, and make the whole experience pleasantly easy. Accidents happen. We're what happens next. Tell your insurance company you choose Stadium Auto Body.
Haley Norris, Realtor. Should I make my hair go like this? Whether you need to buy, sell, or lease. Haley, can I use my hands? Or is that, where are my hands? Where do they go?
Just say,
Haley.
Just say Haley.
Whether you need my expertise. Haley Norris, Realtor. Or even do a commercial lease. Haley Norris, Realtor. Should I say RE/MAX Real Estate Center or no? Is that too salesy?
No, that's good.
My average days on market is just 50 days. You need my expertise. And that means I'm putting more money back in your pocket.
Family Medical Clinic of Walnut Ridge and Bono are your neighborhood healthcare providers, and we're now accepting new patients. We know you have a tight schedule, so we're here 6 days a week at both locations from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. Walk-ins are welcome. In Walnut Ridge, stop by 1045 West Main Street or call us to make an appointment, 886-8300. In Bono, we're on Highway 63 North or call 930-9990. Walnut Ridge Family Medical Clinic and Bono Family Medical Clinic. Here for you when you need us.
It's time now for a look at your New Wave Wireless weather forecast, home of the $49 iPhone screen repair. A gorgeous week is on the way for us this week across Northeast Arkansas. In fact, a little bit chillier tonight, but after this evening, we're watching for temperatures to be kind of nice in the mid-60s to mid-70s, depending on the day. Let's take a look now at what it says as we are really seeing a handful of clouds outside, but it's generally speaking been a sunny day all day long. Going to be sunny almost for the most part all week long, too. Tonight, clear, a low around 41. Then tomorrow, sunny with a high around 75, but a breezy day on the way with winds gusting as high as 30 miles per hour. Mostly clear tomorrow night, a low around 59. Mostly sunny for your Wednesday with a high near 75. Another breezy day, though. Thursday, sunny with a high near 65, a little bit cooler. And then Friday, mostly sunny with a high near 64. Looking ahead to this weekend, you do got a slight chance for some showers to pop up Saturday night, especially showers and thunderstorms are possible, and then they're likely as we roll into Sunday. 53 degrees, as I mentioned, fair skies in Jonesboro right now. Baby powder. It's something that probably all of us have used or had used on us at certain points in time in our lives. But have you heard all of this talk about lawsuits against Johnson & Johnson and allegations that baby powder could be linked to cancer? It's now getting more attention than ever, and we're going to talk to you a little bit about that right now. It's a national story of the day, but according to Reuters, it was a $117 million verdict against Johnson & Johnson and a supplier in favor of one man, just one man, who said his asbestos-related cancer was caused by long-term use of Johnson & Johnson baby powder, the kind of stuff you're looking at right there, the kind of stuff you use on your children. The claim is now setting the standard, the possibility for thousands of cases against them. But there's another claim that's now being brought that Johnson & Johnson products caused ovarian cancer. And if that happens, if that claim goes through, it could open the doors to a major class action lawsuit. In fact, Johnson & Johnson battling some 6,000 cases claiming its baby powder and shower products cause ovarian cancer, according to the Reuters report. But that $117 million verdict by a jury that happened last week involved a different form of cancer clearly linked to asbestos. It's interesting because you're thinking to yourself, baby powder and asbestos, the stuff that's in ceilings. How's that? Okay, let me try to explain this. See, whenever the powder that is mined, it's called talc, T-A-L-C. This powder is mined, and it's alleged or said that when it's mined, it can cause asbestos to be mixed in with it as a byproduct of the mining. In other words, it's not a clean process, and it's somewhat cross-contaminated with that stuff. But Johnson & Johnson says there's no such evidence of this. However, in the case of this Stephen Lanzo, the New Jersey resident who got the giant verdict, he claimed he developed mesothelioma because he used the baby powder since his birth in 1972. And it was during his trial that a jury saw an internal Johnson & Johnson document which the plaintiffs claimed said Johnson & Johnson knew since 1970 that talc in its baby powder was contaminated by asbestos during the mining process. But that's where Johnson & Johnson says the company was just being cautious and careful. They say that linking talc and asbestos is junk science. The company is obviously doing what it can to avoid what could be a potential black hole of lawsuits. The company had $76.5 billion in sales in 2017. And you're talking about a lot of people, up to maybe 22,000 women last year were diagnosed with ovarian cancer. When you're talking about a big company like that, the words class action suddenly start to come into play. And it could end up being a class action lawsuit against Johnson & Johnson, or it could be the beginning of nothing. It could be tough to tell. Nonetheless, it's something that we're going to be following with great interest as Johnson & Johnson and the baby powder debate continues to the tune of $117 million for one man. Okay, so one more national story of the day. So national stories of the day. Maybe that's what I need to start calling this. But look, this one's more positive, right? And Domino's Pizza, they're announcing, I know this is a little silly, but they're announcing that they're going to start delivering to beaches, which we don't have a lot of around here, but we do got parks, so that counts, right? They're saying they're going to be delivering to beaches, parks, and national landmarks now. That's a lot. In fact, we're talking about maybe somewhere around $160,000 outdoor locations, Gateway Arch in St. Louis, or maybe the Las Vegas welcome sign. It's now that the company is showing those locations on their app or website as Domino Hotspots. Delivery has been a big part of the game plan for Domino's, but now if you're headed to Craighead Forest Park, you can order a pizza. But you might want to consider going with something just a little more healthy. Let's tell you what the community calendar looks like for this week. Starting tomorrow, there's an event we've told you about for several days, a blood drive taking place at the Military Science Building, and it's from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the ASU campus. It's sponsored by Jonesboro E911 in the city of Jonesboro. This Friday is Earth Day for the city of Jonesboro. Well, I think Earth Day may be on the 22nd, but it's going to be celebrated this Friday. And it begins at 10 a.m. with presentations at 10:30 a.m. on the East Lawn of the Student Union. Local schools and the general public are all going to participate in the fun. And the International Tabletop Day happens at the end of this month. Don't forget about that. That's at the Jonesboro Public Library on April 28th from 10 until 5. Let's take one live look. Oh, that's kind of fun looking. Keyed out the red truck that was driving by. This is a live look, by the way, at Hardy, Arkansas, on the highway there, right near Spring River. You can actually see it's a much different day. We showed you this traffic cam a few days ago during the severe weather coverage. Quite a bit different of a look now than it was then. But you do see, if you look over there on the right side to the right of the road, looks like the ditch has some standing water in it, I'm thinking. So, but it's beautiful in Hardy right now, just like you can see on the screen right there. And it's gorgeous in pretty much any community across northeast Arkansas. Expecting temperatures 41 degrees tonight, up to 75 tomorrow. And it's set to be a gorgeous week overall. The chance for showers and thunderstorms does exist for us for this weekend, Saturday night, especially into Sunday. Just be aware that we may be dealing with that. But we'll be here to cover it if breaking news breaks out this weekend, or if something happens tonight, for that matter. But that's what we've got for our broadcast for you today here on NEA Report. Thank you to everybody that is in chat, all of you wonderful peoples in chat watching. We appreciate you. And thank you to everybody out there that likes, shares, and helps us out, especially all of our wonderful sponsors. So we'll be back here tomorrow, like I said, with more news, unless breaking news breaks out, in which case NEA Report will be right back. I'm Stan Morris. Hope you have a wonderful evening, and we're back when we see you next.